Actually, let's drop the cube. So what I want you to learn from this video is not the fact that I can solve the Rubik's cube, but I want you to kind of concentrate on what it took me to learn how to solve the Rubik's cube. I think that there is something to learn from it. So I've always kind of been obsessed with the cube since I was like maybe 10 back in it. I was really struggling to learn how to solve the cube. Actually, I was like sticking out the labels, but after some time I kind of gave up because I couldn't solve it. I tried everything. I tried to turn it in different positions, but I was still struggling to solve the cube. So I kind of left it, and when I came here in the UK, after some time I kind of became obsessed with it again. I was passing by to a shop and I saw it and just bought one. I learned that in order to solve the cube you need algorithms. So I kind of started learning the algorithms, and one thing that I did is I was really kind of determined to solve the cube. So I wrote down on my book, by the way, this is the I Am Bold, Beautiful and Blessed book from Joyce Owenadio. I'll put the link down below if you want to buy it. And basically I wrote down here that one of my goals was to learn how to solve the cube. So I made my research, I learned the algorithms, and after 2 weeks, or actually after 1 week, I was able to learn how to solve the cube. So no matter how scrambled it is, I can solve it. What I want you to really learn from this video is, first of all, write your goals and your dreams down on paper. Whatever dream it is, write it down. Like, what is my goal for 2020? Make a list, take a book, notebook, or even a paper, and write down what your goals for 2020 are. Write it down in a list. Once you have your list, once you've wrote down your list, you can even do it now. If you want, pause the video and do it, or you can do it after. Just take 5 and 10 minutes, write down your goals for this year. And once you have your goals down, dissect the goals one by one and write down the steps that you need to achieve, the steps that you need to follow in order to accomplish that goal, in order to accomplish that dream. And I want you to be realistic. Be realistic with your goals, but at the same time, dream big. Big, but realistically. So, for example, if you want to become, I don't know, a doctor, a lawyer, or accountant, or a pilot, or a DJ, whatever you want to become, do your research. What do I need to become this? Or if you want to learn how to cook lasagna, if you want to learn how to cook curry chicken, or if you want to learn how to dance, how to sing, or whatever, write down the steps that you need to actually learn to do those things. So this is what I did. I wrote down the algorithms, what I need to do in order to be able to resolve the cube, no matter how scrambled it is. So once you've wrote down your goals, write down the steps that you need to do and do your research. Be realistic and do your research. And one of the reasons why you also need to do your research is the fact that by doing research, you may actually realize that that goal you thought you wanted to achieve is not as much important, or is not the actual goal that you want to achieve. For example, one of the things I wrote in this book was that I wrote this in 2019. I wanted to, actually in 2019, but for like this year, that one of my goals was to get not a placement, but like get accepted for this law firm. It's actually a big law firm in Manchester, and it's a commercial firm, so it's like transaction and laws between businesses, how to buy business and things like that. And I actually realized that that is not what I actually like. I just wanted to get into that firm because I thought it was big and quite popular, but what they do in that firm is not what I actually wanted to do. So I realized that that was not a goal that I wanted to achieve. So I modified my dream and chose another type of law, another area of law that I actually enjoy. So that's how I modify my dream from commercial law to something else that I feel interests me more. So by writing down your goal, you can actually understand whether it's something that you actually want to achieve or whether you want to achieve something slightly different. So that's why I mean be realistic. When I was writing down the algorithms to learn how to solve the cube, I was like, wow, there are so many algorithms. I don't think I'll be able to learn all these algorithms to be able to solve the cube, because you need to learn them by memory. And I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna give up. And I was actually about to give up. I was like, let's just leave it. But then I was like, no, I don't want to give up. I really want to achieve this. So be determined. If it's something that you really want, be determined to achieve this goal. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna give up. I went back to it, and in a week, actually in 3 days of determination, within 3 days of determination, I was able to learn the algorithms by memory. And was so happy because I accomplished the dream that I wrote down. So by writing down your dreams, you're actually believing in them. And if you feel like giving up, just go back to them and read them. It's like a motivation, something that is written there that yes, this is actually the goal that I want to work towards. And once you write down your goals, really put your faith into them. If you're someone who is religious, pray onto them and have faith. Even if you're not religious, just believe in them. Because Mark 11:24 says, therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. And the NLT version instead says, I tell you, you can pray for everything, and if you believe that you have received it, it will be yours. So that's what I mean, believe, have faith. Even if you're not religious, just purely believe in it and you will actually achieve the goal. And also, if there is a dream that you gave up on some time ago because you thought it was impossible to achieve, go back to it. Because this was the same with the cube. I kind of gave up to it some 10 years ago or something. But then I went back to it, and this time I actually made it. There's also something else that I want you to get from this video, something that I want you to understand, is the fact that sometimes when we write down a dream, for example, I write down, I want to learn how to draw before Thursday. If before Thursday I haven't learned how to draw, then maybe it means that it's not the time for me to learn how to draw. I'm not sure whether that makes sense. That is a bit of a silly example, but for example, one of the dreams that I wrote in 2019 was, before the ending of 2019, I want to get a training contract with this firm. And the firm in question is the one that I ended up not liking. At the end of 2019, I didn't get into that firm that I wanted. And I was kind of sad. I was like, I wrote down this dream, I wrote down this goal, then why did it not happen? Things didn't go as expected. They didn't go well. I didn't get in. And I was like, I wrote down this goal, I was really determined, but that was because that goal was not meant to be achieved. I wasn't meant to be accepted in that law firm because, in fact, they were doing things that I didn't like, things that I was not passionate about. I think I'm not really into commercial law because I feel like it has so much business and accounting, which I don't really like. The type of law that I like is the type of law where you actually interact with humans. So that dream, I didn't get in because I wasn't meant to, because that wasn't a dream, that wasn't a goal that was meant to be achieved, because it was something else that was meant for me, something that represented me more, something that I'm actually more interested in. So it's amazing how things happen. So if you feel like, yes, I wrote this goal down and actually it didn't happen, I wasn't able to achieve this goal, what does it mean? Then it either means, in my opinion, that it's not the time to achieve that goal, that's not the time, or it simply means that that goal is not for you to achieve. So yeah, that's what I think it is, and I think that is what it was for me. And not achieving your goal actually sometimes is an eye opener, because it makes you realize that, wait a minute, is that actually what I want to do? Is that a goal I really want to achieve? Yes, no, let's modify this dream, let's modify this goal. But if you realize there's something that you actually want to achieve, then just go back to it. Because the same thing as the Rubik cube, I was not able to solve it back then, but it was because I didn't know what I was meant to do. I was not really familiar with the algorithms, and I wasn't aware that you needed algorithms to solve it. But once I found out, I was able to achieve this goal. So sometimes it's also about finding what's the main source, what's the main thing you need to do in order to achieve the goal in question. As I resolved the cube, I was like, what can I actually learn from this? Is there something I can learn from this? And I was like, yes. What I learned is that when I write down my goals in paper, and when I really put my faith into it, when I really believe it, and when I'm really determined, I can actually achieve this goal. Write it down to be realistic. Write down the exact steps that you need to achieve it, because sometimes we do write goals, I want to do this, I want to learn how to do this, I want to become this, but want to achieve this, but what are you actually doing? Do you know what it takes you to actually get there? Do you know it? Yes, no. So that's what I mean. Be realistic and be determined, and if you are, you will indeed achieve your goal. It's actually amazing how writing things down helps. So after you've done watching this video, take a notebook, take a paper, sit down for 5 minutes, quiet, and just think about, what do I really want to achieve this year for 2020. It can be more than 2 goals, it can be more than 10, it can be more than 20. Dream big. So once you've wrote them down, just fold them or put them whatever you want. And when you feel like, oh, it's actually really hard, I don't think I can do this, take your notebook back, read your goal. Okay, I wrote down this goal. Yes, this means that the fact that I wrote it down means that I can actually achieve it. So I will work towards it, and I will tick the box at the end of this year, or whenever the goal is meant to be achieved. There's also this verse in Habakkuk 2:2. It says, "And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and engrave it so plainly upon tablets that everyone who passes may be able to read it and easily and quickly as he hastens by." So I think this is also what it means. Write down your visions on paper, write down your goals, your dreams on paper, and believe in them. Really go back to them whenever you feel down, whenever you feel like you can't do it. So powerful, the fact that we're writing down our vision, we're writing down our goals, because for me it means I actually believe that I can achieve this and I will do it. So please do that. Also, sometimes we just need to, when we feel like we're too overwhelmed, we just need to take like maybe a break of one day to reflect on it and just go back to it with positivity. Remove all the negativity when it comes to your dreams. Just be positive and dream big. I hope you found this video helpful. I was meant to record this video in a while, but with uni and exams, but now I'm fresh, I'm back. The exam depression is gone, the exam darkness is gone, and I feel like that actually went well, so I'm happy. That's all for now. And if you want me to make a video on how to solve the cube, there are videos out there, but I feel like they're not actually divided into sections. But if I do make videos on how to solve them, I want to divide them by sections, so you can watch one episode, exercise, and then watch the other episode once you're ready. So yes, so that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will be coming back with more videos. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and put a like if you want me to make episodes on how to solve the cube, which I think I'll do anyway. And yeah, that's all, and I will see you in my next video, and have a good day.